Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about episode 7 for the Bad Batch. So this episode is called Battle Scars, and it starts off pretty action-packed. So they're obviously on a mission for Sid. They're retrieving an item, and it starts off with high energy, I guess you would say. So they retrieve the item. They go back to Sid's place, and they're all chilling. They're talking to Sid about their payment and everything. At first, Sid is like, you only get 30%, I guess you would say. I thought this was supposed to be beneficial, but obviously, she's covering for them and all that. So, it's not exactly 50-50. And then, Omega and Wrecker, they kind of have their own little tradition now, I guess. After every mission, they go out and get some snacks together. So I guess this implies that they've been doing this for a while, which is pretty cool. I guess time has skipped a little bit after last episode for them to at least make a tradition, you know what I mean? So obviously they were doing another job for Sid, while this just means, they're raising money, keeping busy, I guess you would say. So obviously, Hunter and Hunter Echo and Tech, they're talking with Sid while, Wrecker and Omega are having a bonding time. So everybody's kind of doing their thing, right? It's just another day, they're talking about their mutual benefit and just how well it's going to go, when suddenly there seems to be a skirmish in the bar outside of the room. At first, they showcase this character who, it looks at them funny and you think it's a possible assassin, right, that's tracking them. But then obviously later when the assassin fires his weapon and the goons, I guess you would say, run off, it's kind of revealed that it's Rex. I mean, you can see it from, his arm, his armor. So I'm like, oh my god, that's Rex color. And then when he removes his hood, it's him. So I was like, oh my god, it's Rex. So Rex, and the squad, they kind of, say hi to each other. They're happy to see each other, right? They explain a little bit about what's going on. And then when Wrecker comes back and greets Rex, he has another one of those painful headache moments, right? And then Rex notices that, he notices the chip. He notices that his head hurts, and he's like, oh, you haven't taken your chips out yet and stuff, blah, blah, blah. And so he eventually, convinces them that the best thing to do would be to remove them. And at first I thought that maybe this means they'll take them. I mean, obviously he was going to take them somewhere to take them out, but I was thinking we were going to see Ahsoka as well. So I was like, oh my god, is Ahsoka going to help them take him out? But Ahsoka wasn't in this episode. Obviously she's in hiding. Most likely it's been a couple of months, so I guess Ahsoka and Rex have split by now, unless they're just on different missions at the moment. So Rex takes them to this old place that's a starship junkyard, right? Because he needs the tech in a specific starship to remove the chips, right? So they're in this place. They see that there's some scavengers. I think I can't remember the names of the actual troopers that were there, but obviously they have to be careful. So they have to sneak on board a star destroyer. And then there seems to be another looming threat in the water. We don't know if it could be a possible water monster, right? Later in the episode they kind of hint oh, hey, don't go into water. So it's okay, they're definitely hinting on something. So everybody keeps asking Rex so how do you know we have to do this? How did you get yours out? And all he keeps saying is that I had help. Someone helped me. Because I'm thinking at first, why doesn't he tell them about Ahsoka? But at the same time, he can't tell them it was Ahsoka because she's in hiding, right? She's supposed to be dead. So I guess until that information is really necessary, it's on a need to know basis, right? So obviously they need to get across this trench, I guess you would say, and obviously Wrecker's last, and I didn't catch this, but I think Wrecker is scared of heights. I didn't catch it in the last episode, but in this one I was like, oh yeah, so he is scared of heights. And so he makes his way across the line. Obviously I was like, of course something has to happen, but I just blame it on him being a lot bigger and heavier, so the rope snaps, right? Yeah, I mean, and just still, of course, something happens, right? And so he breaks the rope, and he goes over. And at first, I thought he hit his head, and it was gonna be another another moment where he my head hurts. He's gonna fall in the water, but no, he falls just above the water while still holding onto the rope. But then, of course, the monster attacks, and it's like a giant squid kind of monster. You know what? I don't know if it's a squid monster or if it's like, it kind of looked like that creature from episode 6, right? The one that ate Boba Fett. But of course, it's different, right? It's a water monster, not a sand monster. And I don't think they're the same. But, after they were able to kind of, save Wrecker, I thought that, they made a lot of noise, right? They even fired a few gunshots. And, because the blasters make noise. So I was thinking like, oh, did the other scavengers hear this? But thankfully they didn't. And so, after that, they were able to go, to the actual medical bay, I guess you would say, and start, activating everything and going through with the procedure. But I don't know. Of course, I don't know if it's like all the machinery in there and stuff or whatever. But of course, the chip starts activating again, and it's like, of course, why now that we're gonna do the procedure, it starts getting stronger, right? And I don't know what happens, if it's just the sounds from the machine, everybody talking, and him being scared, that of course it activates, right? And so Wrecker, goes on a rampage. He starts, turning on them. He's like, telling them, you're in violation of Order 66, and he starts, attacking everybody. But obviously, they don't want him to damage the equipment, so they lead him away. And everybody's kind of trying to fight him, but like, man, an effective clone is really dangerous. I mean, Hunter and Rex are all trying to take shots, but of course he evaded it. And in the end, he started chasing Omega because she, distracted him. He was about to like attack Hunter, maybe possibly kill him. And so he's chasing her and everything. Eventually she's hiding. He's looking for her, but he finds her. And at the very end, right before, she's about to shoot him, but he's just there like, oh, you're a traitor. You're working with them. But at the very end, it seems like he is trying to fight it back. In the end, he goes back to like, good soldiers follow orders. So he's kind of like telling himself, to follow orders because something is trying to stop him, right? So I guess Wrecker was trying to stop himself. Later in the episode, we do find out that he was. But luckily, that was a good distraction, and I think Rex was able to stun him. So obviously, they were able to get him into the medical bay. And then, they were able to, do the procedure, and thankfully, he was able to wake up and be himself again. So then they proceeded to do, the same thing to the others. Thankfully, they skipped over everyone's procedures. I mean, not because, it would obviously take a lot of time, but it just gave us peace of mind right away. Everybody got the chips out. We're all good. They did say that Omega doesn't have the chip, and they don't want to scan her just to make sure. I mean, if the rumors are true or if the theories are true and she's a force-sensitive trooper, that's like the worst one of all to not keep in check, right? Like, you would like, imagine an evil Omega, like, with force powers and everything. I don't know, but luckily everything worked out in the end. And then Rex and the Bad Batch kind of like split. Rex and Hunter have a final farewell. They're chatting. They're like, I still got work to do. If you guys can definitely join us, we could really use your help. But of course, Wrecker, I mean, I don't know why Wrecker didn't accept. Like, he's really not doing anything, right? He's really just hiding. So with Rex, he'll be at least safer in a way, I guess. But as Rex leaves and leaves Wrecker, it looks like some of the smugglers or the junkyard officers, whatever, they spot them. So don't know if this means the end of Rex just yet, because obviously if they get into trouble, Rex is just leaving. I think he should still be in the planet if anything does go bad. I mean, they informed the Empire, so it looks like they're gonna send troopers, maybe even Crosshair. I don't exactly know how many episodes there are. I don't think there's too many. We're in episode 7, so if anything does happen next episode, it might be big. Any thoughts about the future episodes? I mean, I don't know exactly how long this show is gonna go for. They've already introduced a couple of characters, like the sisters from last episode. Don't know if we'll see Ahsoka. We still need to see Fennec, maybe even Crosshair again, so who knows. But at least this episode was another one that moved things along forward with the story. We finally got the chips out, so that's a big thing, that we crossed off our list. I guess now we just need to find Crosshair and maybe take it out of him, unless something happens. But, with that being said, again, another good episode. It was great to see Rex again. I was hoping to see Ahsoka, but, we'll definitely see more from her in the future, you know, with her show, I guess. But I like animated Ahsoka, right? But hey, a great episode. Definitely excited for the next one. So if you don't want to miss my review for that one, be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on anything else that I upload. And until next time, bye.